Good evening, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the video presentation about Serbia with the sounds of the guitar. Thank you, Miloš. Your performance was excellent. Dear guests from different countries around Europe, welcome to the EYCA conference in Belgrade. Today, we are celebrating 30 years of the European Youth Card in Europe, and especially, it is our pleasure that conference is organized here because today we are also celebrating 15 years of successful development of the European Youth Card in Serbia. So please give a big applause for both anniversaries. Belgrade town has always supported us through its Secretariat for Youth and also through cooperation with Belgrade Youth Office. Today with us here, Dragomir Petronijević, City Council member. Please join us here.
Thank you. Welcome to Belgrade, a city of new ideas and creative people. City on two rivers that never sleeps and where guests are always welcome. Our greats happily come back with a smile and great memories. I hope this conference will bring a new knowledge, a transfer of knowledge, of business ideas and new partnerships. We are here to be your partners and to learn from each other. We will do our best to make you feel at home. We are greatly honored that you have chosen our city for your conference. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for coming. One of the core goals of European Youth Center is to have all our young people in Europe. So I would like to announce the representative of our country in the field of Euro integration, Mrs. Ksenia Milenković, Acting Director of the European Integration Office. Ksenia, may I ask you to come and join us and officially open the conference?
Well, I guess I have a special task here this evening. Anyway, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Belgrade on my side as well. As it was already stated, we are really honored that you've chosen Belgrade for the 30th anniversary of the European Youth Card Conference, and that's a special honor for all of us. And we do hope that this is certainly not going to be your last time visiting Belgrade, because we like to think of Belgrade as a city where people keep coming back, and we hope that happens here as well. And on the other hand, the significance of the European Youth Card as a card which gives an incentive to mobility of youth in Europe among this Serbian youth as well, and a symbol of a very tangible approachment of Serbia to the European Union, and through the European Youth Card we really feel a part of the connection and of the intertwining of not only European youth, but of European values, European culture and European identity, to which we are certain that we are fully part of. In that sense, only the figure of 750,000 youth cards that were issued in Serbia in the last 15 years speaks for itself. And it speaks on how important the mobility of young people is, and their possibility to travel around Europe and to enjoy its cultural diversity. In that sense, we believe that Belgrade is not only part of that diversity, but that Belgrade can also contribute largely and actively to the overall European identity. So let me now declare this conference open and wish you a nice and enjoyable stay in Belgrade. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ksenia. Ministry of Youth and Sport has supported us in many ways since its foundation in 2007 and recognizes European Youth Card as information and mobility tool in the National Youth Strategy for the period 2050-2025. Now, I would like to announce Mrs. Snežana Klašnja, from Ministry from Youth and Sport. Please join us.
Respected ladies and gentlemen, distinguished representative of the European Commission, Council of Europe, City of Belgrade, dear friends of Europe. It has been a privilege to speak at this symbolic occasion, celebration of the 30th anniversary of the European Youth Card. On the behalf of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, allow me to congratulate all of you on your efforts you have made. Great job has been done and huge results for our young people are achieved. Within the Europe, young people in the last 30 years enjoyed so many benefits in arts, transport, sports, cultural activities, and many, many others. At the national level, as it was mentioned, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, 4 years after its establishment, it was in 2007 when it was established, recognized the importance of this mechanism of the youth mobility. And we signed in 2011 protocol on cooperation with the European Youth Centre. Since then, the Ministry supported 11 projects of this centre, and we give about 150,000 euros for the activity of the centre. For us, it was a huge significance, the mobility of young people. We recognize that as one of the priority of our 9 goals in the National Youth Strategy. One of the activity we prescribed is to increase the availability of the European Youth Card as a means to enhance youth mobility. Besides on our previous cooperation and partnership, we are sure that we are really on the right way. Through a large network of partners, youth offices, students and youth organizations, the European Youth Centre managed to join more than 70,000 young people. We strongly believe in mutual collaboration of all stakeholders to benefit of today's youth. At the end, I would like once again to thank all of you for your enormous work. I wish you 2 things: to have really a good work here in Belgrade, and of course, to have a possibility to enjoy, to visit our beautiful town, and to have a good memory. So, good luck.
Thank you, Snežana, for coming. Council of Europe has recognized the importance of youth mobility through Youth Card since 1991, establishing partial agreement on youth mobility through Youth Card. This is a valuable platform for advocating better youth mobility policies across and beyond Europe. It is a great honor to have today here with us Mr. Tim Cartwright, Head of the Council of Europe office in Belgrade.
Dangerous thing that. Never clap before you've heard the speech. Distinguished guests, partners, friends, I'm absolutely delighted to be here this evening on behalf of the Council of Europe, on behalf of my Director General for Democracy, Snezana Markovic, and indeed of my Secretary General, Torbjörn Jagland, as we celebrate the EYCA's 30th birthday. As Ksenia has just said, Belgrade has a habit of dragging you back. I was one of those lucky people, really a very long time ago. I worked out this morning, it's very nearly 42 years ago, when I first visited Belgrade with my then girlfriend, now wife, still wife, little imagining back in 1975 that one day I would represent my organization here in Belgrade, and it's a great privilege to do so. We in the Council of Europe have been cooperating with the EYCA since its creation, and we have developed that cooperation institutionally through a number of instruments and devices, and including through the resolution on the creation of the partial agreement on youth mobility through the youth card that's already been referred to. Rarely, I think, has cooperation, institutional cooperation between the Council of Europe and youth organizations been as successful as this symbiotic cooperation. Not only do we find that we find a common interest in promoting the well-being of young people in Europe, but we also share a commitment to their personal and cultural development. We share common values. We believe in active citizenship and participation. We believe in a healthy lifestyle and, above all, in mobility. We think that common approaches to empowering young people by giving them a say in the decisions that affect them and an active role in the activities they undertake are also vital. The EYCA has recently achieved the staggering total of 6 million youth card holders. This is really something which we can all be proud of, the EYCA in particular. And it shows, I think, very much the importance and the relevance of the EYCA in 21st century, in today's Europe. Allow me, on behalf of my authorities and in my own name, to wish you a very happy birthday, to wish you a fantastic stay in Belgrade, and incidentally, thank you to the authorities of the city of Belgrade for hosting us here this evening. May I wish you success for the next 30 years and perhaps for the next 30 years after that. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Tim. European Union values the card as a tool for supporting youth mobility and European integration of young people, having special program of European Voluntary Service Card issued in cooperation with EYCA. Today, with us here is Mr. Nicola Bizel from European Union delegation to Serbia. May I ask you to join us?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a real honor for me to represent the European Union delegation tonight, not only because I'm representing the European Union, but because I was one of the beneficiaries of this card. So I can really say that it has helped my student life. I was an Erasmus student a few years ago now in Italy. I'm French, and thanks to this card, I was able to travel and discover Italy. I was able to enjoy good Italian restaurant for special prices, good Italian wines for special prices, and go back to Paris for some weekends. I really believe that this is really one of the success, and we have to celebrate this. This is really the result of European Union project which is successful and which targeted the future generation, you. And I'm really happy to have you all here today in this beautiful city, which is Belgrade. It's now 2 years that I live here, and I can really assure you this is a great place to live, and you will enjoy it for sure. And I hope you will not only come for a few days, but you will come back later, which I think I will do after my mandate here, for sure. This project is also important because it is linked with some EU important programs that we know. The Erasmus program, European Voluntary Services that you have mentioned. And my God, traveling, discovering other culture, talking with other people who have other way of thinking, of living, it's such a wealth for me it was really a wealth, and I would say that it's thanks to this, to the travels. It is thanks to my Erasmus that I started to love European Union, and I believed in European Union. And it's not by chance that I work now for European Union. So once again, congratulations for benefiting for this card. And as Tim has just said, I hope it will live for the next 30 years. Have a nice evening and happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Nicola. And now I would like to announce President of EYCA, who has been with us for many years and who finishes his presidency here in Belgrade, Mr. Jarko.
Thank you, our distinguished hosts and guests, and dear friends of the EYCA family. And Nicolas, we could hire you to do the testimonies for the youth card tomorrow. Such a wonderful story. It was 30 years ago today. It happened on a boat on Tagus River in Lisbon. And the Protocol of Lisbon was signed by 6 countries. This Protocol of Lisbon was very important for our international cooperation because it basically set all the rules for harmonization of the different cards that existed at the moment in Europe. So not only did we harmonize the design of the card, which by the way I can show you was horrible. 30 years ago the card looked like this. We used to call it pizza card. We also harmonized the age. At that time it was 26, under 26. It was also important that this card was available to all young people, not only to students. And the validity. Today we are very liberal with our validity periods of different cards. But at that time it was 1 year starting from 1st of September for every card all over Europe. The most important thing, of course, was the reciprocity. So the idea that when you have a card in one country and you travel, you can use it in all the other countries. So at the moment there were 6 countries, and I'm happy to announce that 2 persons who were there in Lisbon 30 years ago are present today. Don't try to hide. Our 2 ex-presidents, Markus Liddell and Patrick McMenamin. Where are you? Marcus was the leader of the Scottish delegation, and he stayed in a posh hotel in Lisbon. And Patrick was responsible for a youth group that all the countries brought, and they stayed in a youth hostel. I also heard that before this fancy event in Lisbon, there was a pre-meeting organized in Scotland in a dodgy pub in Edinburgh, where all the 6 countries came together and decided about all the details. So as many other things in the youth field, Youth Card also had its roots in Edinburgh. So we celebrate now the 30 years of European cooperation. And of course, you have to remember that Europe was a completely different place. 1987, and I think that none of you who were there 87, or even us who came a bit later, we could not imagine that 30 years later we have European youth cards in 40 countries. So Europe is not as divided, or not divided as it was at that time. So now it's really time to look back and to celebrate tonight. Look back at the history and all the different things that have led us today. But at the same time, we have decided that the theme of our conference is our future starts now. The next 30 years of history start today, or tomorrow actually. We don't work tonight, I think. So it's really a good moment for us to look back a little bit and then to start to work tomorrow morning even harder for the better future. I mean, EYCA is in a better shape than ever today, with 6.4 million cardholders and a lot of other very good results. We've had the smallest of which is not that we have managed to get France, Germany and England within EYCA during the last year or two. So we are really happy that our card is a reality almost everywhere in Europe. We would also like to say big thanks to the European institutions. The Council of Europe, of course, had a great part in the history of EYCA. It was actually the first conference of European ministers responsible for youth. For the first time, the European ministers responsible for youth met in the framework of Council of Europe in Strasbourg in December 1985, which was the International Year of Youth. And the Ministers of Youth made a recommendation that there should be a youth card in every country of Europe. And that's how it started, little by little. Of course, European Union has helped us a lot, not only politically but also financially. They have given us a lot of support, and it was already mentioned, this European Voluntary Service, and now we have also an agreement about the European Solidarity Corps volunteers who will get the card, and this of course is a big help for us. Also, I would like to mention EYCA. EYCA president is somewhere here, Jana, because EYCA was the big sister for EYCA. They help us a lot in the beginning, organizing different seminars about the youth card and promoting the youth card also in the very first years. I would also like to say a word of thanks to our hosts in Serbia, because I know that all the authorities in Serbia have always been very positive towards us. They have helped not only the youth card in Serbia, but also us in our international work, and also the people in the Youth Card, Gazela, Milos, and all the team. You have always been very active in the international cooperation, and especially with the Council of Europe work, it has been really important boost for EYCA. At the moment where we live today, I think European values, which have always been the cornerstone of EYCA, something that we have always promoted, they are worth defending even more than ever, and there is a need to defend them when we are living in the Europe of Brexit and all sort of different populist movements trying to break these values. So it's even more important for us to defend them. And so now we really celebrate the history, and it's always good to know the history when you start to build the future. So I really want to wish you all a very pleasant evening, and let's celebrate tonight, but tomorrow at 9:30 we have to be sharp at work, sharp 9:30. So tomorrow 9:30 we will start to work for the next 30 years of even better EYCA and even better Europe. Thank you very much for all of you, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Jarkko. Now we are going to watch together EYCA anniversary video, which is called Card Holders Speak.
Hello. EYCA.
Petra from the Czech Republic.
Zoe, and I'm from Scotland.
Poland.
Slovenia.
Portugal.
France.
Bulgaria.
Finland.
Ireland.
Spain. Croatia. Malta. Serbia.
My European Youth Card has helped me by informing me about my possibilities.
By giving me the opportunity to be more than an average student.
It helped me meet a politician.
Discounted travel, so I get to explore my country.
New friends.
Insurance.
Useful information.
And festival tickets.
Gain discounts in shops.
Participate in youth projects.
Summer programs. The possibilities to travel in order to get to know different cultures.
My European Youth Card has allowed me to help shape youth policy in Europe.
I associate Europe with a common set of shared values.
United diversity.
Uneven development.
Freedom.
Bad education.
Easy to travel.
Youth unemployment.
Human rights.
Growing xenophobia.
Economic competitiveness.
Exclusion of social minorities.
Democracy.
Austerity.
Peace. We are better together. I want Europe to be strong.
World the leader.
A symbol of tolerance and openness.
More entrepreneurial.
I want Europe to be safer.
Open.
More inclusive.
More progressive.
Less political.
More opportunities to all young people.
Diverse.
And what else?
I want Europe to be leading in peace.
The European Youth Card could help Europe be better by encouraging more young people to travel across the countries.
To help tackle youth unemployment.
By encouraging young people to be active European citizens.
Meet with politicians.
By giving more scholarships.
It can help young people to connect to each other.
By promoting cohesive and positive cultural engagement.
Uniting youth through mobility. Opportunities to volunteer more.
By encouraging young people to vote.
Letting young people access education.
Helping young people exchange experience.
By giving the youth a voice.
Happy anniversary, EYCA!
Happy anniversary!
Of course, card holders make conference very special. They're here with us today, but before then, I would like to announce Serbian-born member of European Youth Card Association, who is very dedicated on the EYCA project, my dear colleague, Gazela Pudar-Draško.
Well, thank you very much, Jelena. This is honor, this is a privilege to be here, to have you all here today with me. I'm so happy that I can see a lot of friends, but I can also see a lot of new young people, new other people who arrived to Belgrade. I'm so happy that Belgrade was the conference where almost 100 people applied, which is one of the biggest conferences in recent years. I think that's a great acknowledgement to work of Evropski omladinski centar. I think it's a great acknowledgement to work of EYCA and celebrating in 30 years. It says somehow that this is important. And it is. This is really important. As you saw in this short video, during these 30 years we faced many challenges, and even today we are facing challenges which we thought they are behind us. We are facing many challenges in Europe, in Serbia here, but still with these young people whom you can see here, with these young people who are present today here, I think we can overcome all these difficulties. Because we, as we said in our title of the conference, our future starts now. And we want to build this future with young people because they are not our future, they are together with us to build our future together. So I wouldn't take much long. I would just like to thank once more on behalf of the Evropski omladinski centar to the city of Belgrade for hosting us tonight here. I would like to thank to the representative of the European Integration Office, to representative of Ministry of Youth and Sport, whose support meant so many to us during these several years while they are supporting us. I would like to thank also to the Council of Europe and to European Union representatives, because without them, nothing of this wouldn't be functional. And we want all together with young people to make Europe functional for young people. That's why I'm inviting tonight two bright stars of European Youth Card. One is coming from Serbia, that's Dragana Đanđić, and another is coming from Balearic, from Spain, Ahmet Hidayet, to join me here. And I'm inviting our cake to celebrate a little bit together and to sing one birthday song together. So enjoy in this conference, and I hope you will all have great memories from Belgrade. Now the cake. Play. I would also invite card holders to join me here, please. This is a little bit like wedding. We have one knife and two people to cut it, so you can do it together. It's not a wedding, but still. Can we have one photo together, of course? just one very important message of this performance, which was our young folkers performance, was that we can do many things united in diversity. So let's stay all together, united in diversity. Let's celebrate tonight a lot here, and let's celebrate next few days working. Yes, Jarko will work in the morning, don't worry. But let's keep in mind that we are starting to build our future for the next 30 years here in Belgrade, and we really are happy that that is happening exactly here on the edge of European Union, but we hope soon to be united in the European Union also.